Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, your new best friend, Spooky Spooks. And today we're going to be talking about a spooky thing from my childhood. Spooky. It is from this book, The World's Greatest Ghosts. A great book full of spooky things. We've got stuff like the Amityville Horror and loads of other spooky tales, but I'm going into one of these. One of these that stuck in my mind as a kid. It's about the face in the floor. It happened in Spain. What's the place again? It's Belmez. But it's a spooky story, and it always stuck with me. And I did do some research on this, and the images I found in this. Because as a kid, I didn't have Google or any cool things like that, so I just had to use my imagination. So I read this. I read this repeatedly as a kid. It always creeped me out. And then actually seen some images when I researched this. And I'm going to show you. You'll probably see them somewhere. So here we go. I'm going to read it. It's a quick one. It's only a short one, but here we go. One of the world's most puzzling ghost stories began on an afternoon in August 1971 in a cottage in the Spanish village of Belmez. An old woman was busy in the kitchen preparing the evening meal when her grandchild started to scream. The grandmother turned from her oven and saw a tormented face stare up at her from the faded pink tiles on the kitchen floor. Already pretty spooky. When she tried to rub the vision out with a rag, the eyes opened wider, making the expression of the face even more heartrending. Even spookier. The woman sent for the owner of the house. He ripped up the tiles and replaced them with concrete, but 3 weeks later, another face began to form in the new surface, even more clearly defined than the first. The owner called in the authorities, who excavated one section of the floor and found what seems to be the remains of a medieval burial ground. Spooky. The floor was repaired, but soon faces started appearing all over the carefully laid concrete. First one, then another, and then a whole group. The kitchen was locked and sealed off, but faces began to appear in other places of the house. Investigators moved in with ultra-sensitive microphones and picked up agonized moans and voices speaking in a strange language, sounds undetectable to the human ear. But before anyone could discover what they were and why they were there, the faces and sounds just melted away, as suddenly and as mysteriously as they arrived. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you, through this story you saw some of the faces and stuff. This story freaked me out as a kid. I mean, I'm freaky looking, but this story, it spooked me. It spooked me. It's a great story, and just having those pictures now that I discovered recently, wow. These are the kind of pictures I was imagining as a kid reading this. So yeah, these pictures, I mean, they might be behind me there, or I might be showing them somewhere else, I don't know. But I'm so glad I found them, because they're exactly what I was imagining as a kid, and they are creepy looking. I mean, these look like genuine photos that someone took back in 1971. I mean, this could all be a hoax for all I know, but I don't know. This one's sticking with me. This one is more believable than the Japanese train ghost that I did recently, the Japanese mirror ghost that I did recently. This is one that I remembered from my childhood, always thought about, and now, recently discovering these pictures that I didn't even know existed. But wow, I am super, super happy I found them. They add more to the story, more believability. Honestly, if I saw anything like that happen in my kitchen, I would just poop my pants and run out. I'd be gone. I'd never return there ever again. So this lady was brave. Just scrubbed it out, got rid of it. Done. More faces. Get rid of the tiles, cement over it, sorted. More faces. And especially for the fact that faces started appearing in the rest of the house once the kitchen was closed off. Spooky. And then the fact that the guy's got the ultra-sensitive microphones and you could hear agonizing screams. I love it. I love this story. It's one of my favorites. So please, if you've heard this before, comments below. I would love to hear more about it and what you thought of the story too. And if you've got any other spooky stories of your own, if maybe you've seen a ghost yourself, or some sort of cryptid, or a UFO or something, comment below. If you got any videos you want me to check out and do a video on, comment below and I could check it out. And you can also reach me at Mr. Spooky Spooks on Twitter. So don't forget to like And I still haven't changed it. Subscribe. It says subscribe. And hopefully, if you want to hear more stories from this book, let me know in the comments below and I'll read some. Okay, I'm going. See you soon. Bye. Subscribe.